What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's Netflix original movie review of The Adam Project, the newest film from director Shawn Levy. So before we begin, if you like this video, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button as well as comment below on a video to watch, including this one. So The Adam Project is Shawn Levy's newest film that once again stars Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds and Shawn Levy seem to be a perfect pair now. They worked on Free Guy. They seem to have some kind of interesting chemistry together. So now they've made a new movie called The Adam Project. And basically this is a sci-fi time travel movie about a guy named Adam who's played by, of course, Ryan Reynolds. He basically steals a ship. He lives in 2050 and he's going to time travel to 2022 to basically get his younger self to help him destroy time travel, because time travel is now monopolized. It's basically under the control of this person named Soren, who's played by Catherine Keener, and they basically have the two Adams have to kind of work together to go back and have their dad stop time travel, because their dad worked with this character named Soren and all that good stuff. So in essence, it's a road trip movie, it's a sci-fi time travel movie, it's an action adventure movie, and it's a movie directed by Shawn Levy, if you know what I mean. So here we are, once again, we are watching a high concept, very expensive budget film from Netflix. You can tell Netflix threw a lot of money at this film. It's a film directed by Shawn Levy, which I have a very interesting history with when it comes to watching his films. I have problems with how he directs films. I think his stories that he directs from are usually pretty weak. It was pretty surprising that not only did he produce Arrival, but that Free Guy ended up being a better film than it should have ever been in his entire career of being a film. And it's just, I never feel like I enjoy anything that Shawn Levy does. I hate the Night of the Museum films. I am not a big fan of Real Steel. He's done some other films that I feel like are just not great films. So I understand the appeal of stuff like Real Steel and Free Guy and this movie in general, because they are bombastic, big budget, high concept films with a lot of glitz and glamour, a lot of appeal with the actors and actresses in the movie. And in sense, you almost kind of have to switch off your brain if you want to watch these movies, because they are just those types of films. So going into The Adam Project and reading all these tweets about the movie, about how good it was, how emotional it was, how just like it felt like a really truly special film, I was like, holy crap, maybe this is a good film. Maybe I'll really enjoy this film. Maybe outside of Free Guy, Shawn Levy's created a film that I will kind of enjoy. And on top of that, you know, I don't want to like dispel Netflix, but they definitely allow big budget films to be made, and they're usually not the greatest films in general. So there's like two strikes going against it. It's a really strange thing to think about. But those tweets of people I respect in the reviewer space, I have to give this movie the benefit of the doubt, at least. Hopefully this isn't like The Rim of the World or something like that from McG, which is a really terrible film. And so with that said, I got a chance to see this movie early. They, sent out screener copies for this for, the fans to check out and put out their tweets and stuff like that. So going into this movie with the expectations that were kind of low for myself, I don't necessarily hate this film, but I don't necessarily like this film. This is a film that really shows the tendencies of Shawn Levy as a director and his abilities to shoot really terrible scripts. But the thing about this movie that kind of is surprising is it has a lot of heart to it. It has a lot of emotional core to it. And overall makes you feel, especially if you're my age or somebody who went through like early 90s, late 80s types of films, really harkens back, and even Ryan Reynolds says this is what he was aiming for, really harkens back to those films that didn't have great stories, didn't have great plots, but the action, the adventure, the creative nature of the films, the idea of the high concept, I think that's what this movie really does really, really well. It was actually kind of surprising, because as I was listening to this movie and my ears were bleeding from the really terrible dialogue, what I was seeing on the screen was actually quite entertaining. It really was. It was fun to watch this young kid who's playing the younger Ryan Reynolds, which I don't know how I feel about the kid. I think the fact that he's trying to be Ryan Reynolds really doesn't work very well, but the chemistry that these two have, and the fact they're playing off each other, and the fact that they're just having fun and they're having a good time while filming this movie. It made me really kind of enjoy it more than I was expecting. I was really surprised because I'm sitting here talking to my friends while I'm watching the movie, just kind of, they're wondering what I'm thinking of it. I was like, I really don't like this movie. I really don't like what I'm watching. But at just some point, it finally melds into your brain that this movie just is fun. It's just entertaining. I think these are the types of films that Ryan Reynolds works very well in and has a really good concept of what they use his character as. Does it get a little exhausting? Yes, the movies that he is and who he is and his kind of mannerisms and, you know, how Ryan Reynolds portrays himself as like Deadpool and stuff like that. It does get a little exhausting, but it's never irritating to the point where you feel like you want to strangle your mind and brain and all that stuff. It's just weird how this works, but it's also a film that, you know, has an emotional core to it when it comes to family and, you know, how we view our family and how we interact with our family and how they leave a lasting impact on you as a human being, I guess you could say, which is what makes the core of this film actually work pretty well. You know, we have Jennifer Garner, who plays the mom of the Adam character, and she's struggling because of what happens to the father in this movie, and you see that struggle, and you see, you know, the snarkiness and the way this young kid quips because he's a young Adam and stuff like that. It really works, and it really feels emotional. And then you get to, like, when they go back and you see Mark Ruffalo, who plays the dad, and you get the sense that this guy really loved, you know, his kid and really loved the family. It just, there's like that emotional level too. And then you understand why the things that happen, why this movie feels a lot like Back to the Future meets The Kid, you know, the Disney movie that had Bruce Willis in it. And in the end, it was kind of a heartwarming film. With that said, the script for this movie is absolutely atrocious. It's horrifying. There's dialogue in this movie where I just like, what is even being spoken in this movie? You get to a point where you just start laughing at the dramatic moments because they're so badly spouted out by the characters. And there's some beats in this movie which feel really kind of weird and kind of just out of place and kind of a little janky, a little wooden in a lot of aspects. There's a lot of wooden characters. I think Catherine Keener's character is really wooden in this movie. There's a point where we see her younger self, and I do think that actually the digital kind of de-aging is really well done in this movie, but her character is very wooden and very kind of, it's kind of weird how she moves and stuff like that. And it really feels like it's like a better version of what Robert Zemeckis was doing, but not like that terrible. It's kind of like in the realm of like a Rogue One or something like that, I guess you could say. And I think what was most jarring and the most kind of, it kind of takes you back a little bit is the opening of this film and how Adam meets Adam, because it just kind of happens quickly and Adam just kind of accepts it. It's the same thing with like other characters. They're just kind of really accepting of this kind of really strange situation. There's actually a point in this movie where young Adam actually says something that a lot of people, especially when it comes to time travel movies, will start or have always questioned, like, what happens if you go back to your younger self? How does that affect, you know, time travel and the time stream and stuff like that? And I really liked how that worked out. But, you know, it's just funny to me when you watch the movie that you see like how accepting everyone is of this whole crazy sci-fi situation. I was just waiting for every character in this movie to go, hey, it's older Adam, he's a time travel. Hi, Adam, you know, like what they do in Free Guy when they walk around and they say hello to each other. So this movie, like I said, in the end, for my review, for the official ending to my review. And so to conclude this review, I had fun with this movie. I enjoyed it. There is some emotional impact and punch to this movie. I think Shawn Levy actually directed a pretty decent film. But once again, he is given a terrible script, and that script does not do justice or any favors for him. And there is a lot of wooden moments and a lot of just kind of leaps of logic and just kind of sudden, whoa, calm down. Stop taking your sugar and your, Coca-Cola and drinking it quickly and speeding all out of control, the Red Bulls and stuff like that. You need to slow down, and when it does slow down, I think it's more impactful. So overall, it's definitely not a bad movie, but it is not a great movie. We'll just put it at that. It's a movie that you'll have fun with, and especially if you're my age, you'll enjoy these types of movies just for what you remember as a kid. So, but there you go. That is my take of The Adam Project. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below, instead of what you think, are you excited for this movie? If you were able to time travel back to your younger self, what would you do? Would you try to correct time? Would you keep it the same? Let me know in the comments. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you like this channel, as well as liking those videos if you like the content. But otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.